नमो अरिहन्तानाम् ॐ नमो सिद्धानाम् ॐ नमो आयर्यानाम् ॐ नमो वज्रायानाम् नमो लोये सवसाहुनम् एसो पञ्च नमोकारो एसो पञ्च नमोकारो सर्वपावपनाशनो मङ्गलानञ्च सौवेसिं पढमं हवै मङ्गलम् मङ्गलानञ्च सौवेसिं पढमं हवै मङ्गलम्. Salutation at the feet of Tirthankar Paramatma Bhagwan Mahaveer. Salutation at the feet of most revered Pujya Gurudev Anand Rishi Ji Maharaj Sahab and of infinitely benevolent Upadhyaya Bhagwan Pujya Praveen Rishi Ji Maharaj Sahab. इच्छा कारेणम संदिसह भगवम इच्छा कारेणम संदिसह भगवम. My immense gratitude to the holy feet of Paramatma and Gurudev Upadhyaya Praveen Rishi Ji Maharaj Sahab for showering his grace upon me to be an instrument in delivering the Uttaradhyayana Sutra in English. Aram afternoon everyone. I Sadhvi Arohi welcome the devotees gathered here to listen to the sacred techniques of 24th Tirthankar Paramatma Mahaveer and to participate in worshipping the Srimad Uttaradhyayana Sutra. This sutra holds great significance as it contains the last words of Paramatma Mahaveer before his salvation. I would be presenting the English version of Gurudev Rishi Praveen's discourse on the Srimad Uttaradhyayana. Today is the 8th day of our humble effort. We will try to understand and absorb the secrets of chapter 13 and 14 as decoded by Gurudev Sri Ji. Get ready for samosha and meditation. Sit straight. Close your eyes. Inhale deeply. Exhale slowly. Again inhale deeply. Exhale slowly. Feel your breath. Feel yourself. Grand Samosharan. Feel the hidden devotion within you for Prabhu Mahaveer. The wish to have him as our Tirthankar Paramatma and to fulfill this dream. Let your body become a divine Samosharan. Imagine your heart as a throne of Paramatma. Visualize from your legs to your hips as the first silver enclosure. Visualize. And from your hips to your belly as the second golden enclosure. Visualize and feel it. In all four directions are the gem-studded archways. From your belly to your heart, see it as the third gemstone enclosure with archways of precious Vaidurya gems. On the heart's radiant crystal throne, Paramatma Mahaveer is seated. Chamrendra and Balendra are gently fanning him. At your neck, mouth, and head are the three divine umbrellas, chhatras, and above is the Ashoka tree. In the sky, celestial beings sing divine melodies and shower flowers. Reaching toward the heavens is the Dharma flag and the Dharma chakra that makes the whole world divine. With a deep breath, feel the presence of Tirthankar Paramatma Mahaveer's vibrations within your inner Samosharan. Feel it, visualize it. Awakened by the merit, the punya of Paramatma's Naam Karma. All men, women, deities, and monks bow at his feet. As you bow down in devotion, you sense a divine power above your head. You seek his permission to listen to his sacred words. Vardhamanam saranam pavajami. Vardhamanam saranam pavajami. Vardhamanam saranam pavajami. Open your eyes. For the rendition of Veer Stuti, hymn in appreciation of Paramatma, and the Prakrut verses of Uttaradhyayana Sutra, follow the link in the description box. Namo Suyadevayaye. Namo Suyadevayaye. Namo Suyadevayaye. In chapter 13, titled Ch.Sambhajinagar, let's see how relations are deeply connected and how memories make ways to re-establish disconnected relations of previous births. Chitta and Sambhuti had very deep bond and relation in consecutive 6 births. They were always together and deeply connected, whether they took birth as brothers, as friends, celestial deities, swan, hen, or slaves in their different births. In the birth of Chitta and Sambhuti, they were born as brothers in a very low caste family. Yet they were beautiful and unmatched in appearance. Once the king there found the chief minister of his court, Namuchi, guilty of an unpardonable offense, and therefore he handed over him to the father of Chitta and Sambhuti to be hanged till death. The father of Chitta and Sambhuti, seeing his son's capabilities, thought of getting them educated from Namuchi, as he was a very learned and brilliant man. The father requested Namuchi to educate his sons, against which he would pardon his life. Namuchi happily accepted his proposal, but his personality was such that he was one among those kind of people who harm those who benefit him. Namuchi was a learned man, but his character was of a criminal mindset, and therefore he started having bad intentions and started involving himself into bad deeds with the wife of the person who had saved his life. When the father came to know about his deeds, He realized that this human is not worthy of living because he has knowledge but lacks character, and a person without character is dangerous and a threat to everyone around. Therefore, he decides to kill him and discusses this with his sons too. Chitta and Sambhuti too accepted their father's decision, but their inner soul felt that though Namuchi's crime was unpardonable, they realized that he was their teacher, their guru. Their inner conscience could not accept the severe punishment of death for their teacher, from whom they had gained knowledge. Therefore, they told Namuchi to escape as their father would kill him otherwise. Namuchi ran away and went to Hastinapur, where he became the chief minister of the king there. On the other hand, Chitta and Sambhuti had progressed in their artistic capabilities and became good singers with their great voice. When they sang in ceremonies, the crowd started getting mesmerized in their voice and praised their performance. Jainism is the only place where quality and character is worshipped and respected. Otherwise, in this world, racism is imprinted deep within the society, as a result of which Chitta and Sambhuti, irrespective of their quality and capability, were boycotted by higher caste as they were born in a low caste family. They were beaten and victimized. Victimization of truth and quality is the greatest of pains. And so Chitta and Sambhuti, out of depression, decided to end their lives and therefore reached a hilltop to commit suicide. At the top of the hill, they saw a saint meditating. They were mesmerized by his aura and so sat there near him. When the saint opened his eyes, his one view turned their misfortune into fortune. They narrated their entire story to the saint. The saint's love and wisdom opened their inner eyes, and they chose to walk the path of self-discipline and accepted monkhood. In their journey as monks, once they reached Hastinapur, the kingdom of Chakravarti Sanat Kumar, where the same Namuchi has now become the chief minister in the royal court. Chitta and Sambhuti have come to ask for meals after a month-long fast, and Namuchi seen them there. Namuchi was a man of bad character, and this character of his always made him feel wrong about the others. And so he felt that Chitta and Sambhuti would open all his secrets and bad deeds here in front of everyone. So he started beating them to leave this kingdom. Namuchi and other people kept on beating them, and the patience of Sambhuti ended. His inner power awakened, and the energy of his Tejolesha, an intense spiritual state, flared up. The entire city was engulfed in smoke and fire. The Emperor Sanat Kumar was alarmed by the chaos. At the same time, Chitta, who was meditating in a garden, sensed what was happening and realized Sambhuti had unleashed his energy. He rushed to the scene and reminded Sambhuti, no matter what happens, you must only give nectar, not poison. Take back your curse and your anger. Listening to the Chitta's words, Sambhuti controlled his rage and withdrew the destructive energy. Sambhuti calmed down and they went back. Soon both realized their death to be near and so decided to take Santhara, an act of preparing your body and soul for the next journey before birth, before death. Emperor Sanat Kumar discovered that Namuchi was responsible for the destructive incident and had him arrested to seek forgiveness from the monks. However, the monks had already reached a high state of spiritual forgiveness. Chitta and Sambhuti requested the emperor not to punish Namuchi, acknowledging him as their teacher who had benefited them. The emperor was astonished by their generosity and, along with his family, paid respects to the monks. Queen Sriratna, deeply moved by their ability to see good even in those who cause harm, bowed in devotion, accidentally touching Sambhuti with her hair. When Sambhuti felt the soft touch of Queen Sriratna's hair, he opened his eyes and saw Emperor Sanat Kumar and Queen. In that moment, he expressed a desire. If I receive any fruit from any my spiritual practice, I want to be an emperor in my next life. Chitta, aware of Sambhuti's spiritual progress, recognized that he was slipping into worldly desire and tried to warn him against such thoughts. However, Sambhuti did not fully understand the warning. Recalling Lord Mahaveer's advice to avoid attachment to pleasant sensations, Chitta managed to help Sambhuti control his anger, but could not prevent the subtle desire that root within him. Without repenting, Sambhuti completed his life and ascended to the celestial world. Gurudev says, never ask anything in return of the spiritual practices you do. This is called Niyana. Please listen very carefully and remember, Niyana has many negative effects. From a spiritual perspective, there is no bigger prison than Niyana. It is cause of this that even if we have the ability and strength, we still can't follow the path of spirituality and do not believe in it. For example, we have seen people like this. If they don't take a vow of fasting, nothing happens throughout the day. No hunger, no discomfort. But if they take the vow, they start feeling a headache even before noon. The reason is the return gift one asked for the good they have done. Sambhuti, after completing their celestial birth, is reborn as King Brahmadatta Chakravarti. Chitta also is reborn into a noble family. After several years, Chitta and Brahmadatta Chakravarti meet again. They talk about their lives, discussing happiness and sorrow. During their conversation, Brahmadatta Chakravarti shared his enjoyment of the fruit of his past good deeds. In response, Chitta reflected on his own growth, mentioning how a story about discipline and a great sage inspired him to embrace self-restraint and choose a disciplined life. Brahmadatta expressed a desire for Chitta to return to a life of enjoyment. He told him, "Why are you leading this life of self-restraint, full of suffering? Return to enjoy life with me, just as we have enjoyed the fruit of our good deeds together in 5 precious lives. Let us enjoy these pleasures together again." Chitta replied, "Because of your old affection for me, You are inviting me to indulge in temporary pleasures. But all these pleasures are mere illusions, and what you call happiness is actually sorrow. The true enjoy lies in discipline and virtue, not in these fleeting pleasures. You know that in past life we were born into a lower caste, and it was through the power of self-restraint that we generated the merit that led to our current status. It was through discipline that we reached greatness. Even now, I urge you to leave behind these temporary pleasures and follow the path of discipline. This wealth and luxury will not accompany you in death. When a person dies, people burn the body and move on, enjoying the deceased riches, their properties. But the only thing the soul takes with it is its karma. After your death, others will begin living under a new ruler, while you will be left alone with your deeds. Sambhuti, who is now Brahmadatta Chakravarti, also realizes where he went wrong. Brahmadatta Chakravarti says, I am like that elephant, deeply stuck in mud. I can't come out. Chitta then advises him, if you cannot walk the path of discipline, Sayyam, at least walk the path of virtue. Become a good, righteous person. Follow the principle of faith. Be a devotee of religion. You may still enjoy the pleasures of life, but have love and respect for righteousness. However, Brahmadatta, due to the pleasures he asked against the spiritual practices he did, the jnana, now struggles even to have faith in religion. He cannot commit to the spiritual path or even feel love for it. Ultimately, Chitta observed that Brahmadatta's attachment to worldly pleasure had rendered him greedy and materialistic. Despite his effort to guide his friend, it became clear that those words were falling on deaf ears. He, out of his affection, guided him the right path and eventually goes off. The chapter leaves a message. Never expect anything in return for what good you do. Don't ask what you want against the spiritual practices you have done. Don't ever make a jnana. And second, in case of you have done a jnanas, expected something in return, then repent and free yourself before you depart. Please remember this. Jnana are not meant to live with. They are meant to be broken. Don't carry them. Free yourself today from it. Now, chapter number 14. Namo Suyadevayaye. Namo Suyadevayaye. Namo Suyadevayaye. 14th chapter, titled Usiarijam, speaks about 6 friends and how their relationships lead all to the path of spirituality. 6 friends in their past life walked the path of monkhood and performed spiritual practices together. All were reborn as celestial beings. The lifespan of 4 of them in heaven was slightly shorter than that of the other 2. And these 4 were reborn in Ishukar kingdom as husband and wives, Queen Kamlavati and King Ishukar, and priest Bhrugu Purohit and wife Yasha. The other 2 friends in heaven saw that they would soon complete their time there and be reborn as humans. They realized they would be reborn as the children of their friends. Observing that their four friends were engrossed in worldly pleasures, they thought their future parents might not allow them to follow the path of spirituality. Disguising themselves as Brahman, they went to the house of Bhrigu Purohit to secure their future. Bhrigu Purohit and his wife did not have any children at the time. The deities in the form of Brahmans told them that they would have two sons. However, they warned that these two children would carry the strength of yoga and penance with them and would eventually walk the path of spirituality. They cautioned Bhrigu Purohit and his wife not to stop the children from pursuing that path. However, those attached to worldly pleasure often think negatively. Both Bhrigu Purohit and Yasha thought, at least we will have children as we have been told. But to ensure they don't follow the path of spirituality, we will create an environment from their childhood that they keeps them far away from it. After some time, two sons were born to them, and they did everything possible to prevent the boys from meeting monks or learning about spirituality. They instilled fear in the children about monks, making them believe monks were dangerous. One day, while playing, the children saw a group of monks approaching. Immediately they thought the monks had come to take them away and harm them. Terrified, they ran as fast as they could, climbed a tree, and sat on its branches to avoid being caught. Coincidentally, the monks sat down right under the same tree. The monks began meditating and then ate their food in peace. As the children observed from above, they realized the monks were not harmful as they had imagined. The monks had no weapons, nor did they seem dangerous. Looking at the monks' religious belongings, the boys had a vague feeling they had seen this before. As they thought deeply, they recalled their past life and attained Jati Smaran Gyan, knowledge of past lives. Filled with newfound understanding, they climbed down from the tree, bowed before the monks with great devotion, and expressed their desire to become monks themselves. When they returned home, they told their parents they wished to renounce worldly life and embrace monkhood. Bhrigu Purohit was shocked and tried to persuade them otherwise, explaining that the scriptures say one cannot reach their destiny without having children. He urged them to study the Ved, feed Brahmans, get married, have children, and only then consider becoming monks. The children replied, no scripture or Ved can protect a person without good conduct, and no son can save someone from hell if they have done wrong. It's a person's own karma and dharma that determine their soul's fate and can lead them to liberation. A long conversation ensued between Bhrigu Purohit and his sons. The father argued, insisting the soul doesn't exist at all. Just as fire ceases to exist when wood is completely burned, in the same way, when the body dies, the soul dies too. There is no such thing as a soul. However, the children, having remembered their past lives and spiritual practices, were certain that the soul exists. They had seen the truth through their own experience and were determined to follow the path of spirituality. We were deceived for so long, but now we know the truth and we are ready to go, they said. The father tried to delay them, asking them to wait a few more days. But the children firmly responded, only those who believe they can escape death would agree to wait. But we know the truth. No one can escape death. The entire universe is engulfed in this darkness. Death is constantly pursuing everyone, and old age surrounds us all. This is an inevitable reality that no one can stop. The nights that pass by will never return. Bhrigu Purohit realized that his children were resolute in their decision to live. He turned to his wife and said, listening to them, I too feel inspired to follow the path of monkhood. His wife responded, look, they are young and will go their way, but you stay here with me. However, Bhrigu Purohit had already made up his mind. Seeing his determination, his wife thought, what will I do here alone? I should go with him. And so, all four of them decided to renounce the world and hand over their wealth to the king. When King Kamlavati saw this, she was deeply moved and felt inspired to join them. She went to the king and said, we all have to die in one day, and we won't take anything with us. Why are you accumulating wealth? What they are leaving behind, why are you taking? It's like eating what someone has already vomited. It's a shameful act. Only dharma will protect us, not wealth. She persuaded the king in many ways, and eventually both the king and queen decided to walk the path of spirituality as well. In the end, all six friends renounced the world and became monks. The lesson Gurudev shares from this chapter with all of us are, Gurudev says, value relationships and do good deeds together. These six friends practiced spirituality together in their past lives and see how their bond evolved. Two initially chose the spiritual path and eventually their vibrations attracted the remaining four. This is the true strength of relationships. And second, every day before you sleep, pray and wish. That day will be truly great when I renounce all material possessions and pledges to walk the path of monkhood. There is no greater joy in life than this. With this, I conclude my today's session, expressing immense gratitude at the feet of Paramatma and Gurudev, and last but not the least, all the listeners to patiently listen these sermons. If I have done any mistake, I pardon. Thank you so much and have a Aram day. Mangal Path.
Chattari Mangalam Arihanta Mangalam Siddha Mangalam Saho Mangalam Kevali Pannato Dhammo Mangalam Chattari Laguttamari Hanta Laguttamam Siddha Laguttamam Saho Laguttamam Kevali Pannato Dhammo Laguttamam Chattari Saranam Bhavanjhami Arihante Saranam Bhavanjhami Siddhe साधो शरणं भवञ्झामि केवलीपन्नतं धम्मं शरणं भवञ्झामि अरिहन्तो का शरणं सिद्धों का शरणं साधुओं का शरणं दया धर्म का शरणं चार मंगल चार उत्तम चार शरणं दुख हरणं सुख करना और न शरणा कोई जो भव प्राणी करे आराधन अक्षय अमर पद होय वर्धमान शरणं